Thank you guys for coming. Great day for Kent State. I want to thank this staff. This staff did a great job of really, we kind of hit this thing and hit it running. Really the first day that we got together was probably about January 11th, 12th, somewhere in there, and we kind of just hit it and run. But they did a great job of really, gaining relationships with the guys who were already committed, plus also searching for new guys. But I want to commend them on the job that they did of finalizing this staff. Also want to thank, all the people in this process. There's a lot of people that make these weekends kind of run smooth. Everybody from the hotel, everybody to the academic, Talia and the academic people, the professors who came on Saturdays and Sundays to meet with our guys. But it was truly a team effort, truly a university effort to get these guys. We got 21, we had 21 scholarships, we got 21 guys. There was no surprises today, which is, awesome for us. But, we said, okay, geez, we want our kind of guys, and that's what we got. So with this class, though, we're very proud of a lot of different things. We got about 9 guys on offense, about 12 guys on defense. Some of them can go, back and forth. It'll kind of be interesting to see where they end up. A couple of things we're proud of about this class. The average GPA was about a 3.16, little over 20 on the ACT, 885 on the SAT, which is good, which is great, actually. 20 out of the 21 of these guys were team captains, which shows leadership, qualities. 11 of them were all state. Also we had one guy that was Mr. Football in his state, which is huge. Also, they played on great teams. 17 of them played for conference championships. 7 of them played for state championships, with 5 of them winning the state championship. So not only good teams, we also had, we got 9 guys from Ohio. 4 of those guys are playing in the North-South All-Star game. The other guys came from about 6 different states. So we're very proud of this class, very excited about this class, and I definitely want to thank this class and this staff for getting this great staff together. Any questions you guys have on the class?
Coach, it seems Coach Rock's really high on Strock. Fisher's also going to be in the senior season. Coach Rock's also really high on Colin Reardon. Is Strock a guy that could actually compete for the starting job?
I think any of these guys, we kind of told them when we recruited them, we want guys who want to come in and compete, not guys who want to just come in and sit and wait for 2 or 3 years. So not only Schrock, but all these guys, we want guys that want to come in and compete, not guys that just want to come in and sit. So he could be a guy. He's going to have the opportunity to do it, and then it's up to him to see if he takes it.
How many of the original recruits stayed through the coaching change?
You know what? I believe that there was 11 guys committed when we got here, and 10 of them stayed. There was one kid who was out of the state of Pennsylvania, got a Pitt offer that went to Pitt. But I believe all the rest of them stayed.
How much did that help? Because of just the time frame, you didn't have much time really to hit the ground running.
I think it helped. With our relationship, with my relationship with Coach Hazel, and we leaned a lot on the guys who were already here, on our type of guys that we wanted. I knew those guys were going to be those type of guys that we wanted. So it was easy in that case. Really, it was all about them wanting to stay with us and us getting back out and me meeting them, the new position coach meeting them. And I think when that happened, they saw that it was a lot of the same. So it was a good fit.
Did it make it any easier the fact that you're from here to make it easier selling the school to those guys?
With me knowing about the place, I think it was easy for me to talk about it. To me in recruiting, the guys who do the best job of our players. And it was awesome to see our players. Usually in this recruiting thing, what happens is most people hand choose the players because they're the ambassadors of the program. Well, we didn't know I mean, we had no idea. So when Coach Needham actually asked guys to host, we had a list of about 20, 25 guys, which is unheard of. But to me, it says something about the program. Also, it was fun for me to see that these guys wasn't selling me because they don't know me. They were selling Kent State. Those kids love it here. Those kids like it here. So that was the beauty to me of watching these kids recruit. And it wasn't about the coaches. You know, it was about the program. It was about the school. It was about the university. It was about the community of Kent that these kids love. You know, so I think when those parents and those kids heard those, you know, to me it was a no-brainer for a lot of those kids when they left here.
Obviously, you weren't here last year, but did you get a sense of the success that they had last year really carrying over into recruiting?
There's no doubt. You know, anytime you can, you know, I would not even say the success on the field, but even when you talk about 47 guys over a 3.0, you know, when you start talking to things like that, because a lot of times when you have your first success, there's no off-field things that happen. You're getting 3.0s in the classroom. It was just a perfect fit for everything that was going on here, and it wasn't just one phase of it, it's all phases of it. And again, when the parents come on and they see that, and the kids come on and they see that, then they see it's a program not only on the rise on the football field, but on the rise as a whole.
Do you kind of recruit two positions, or you just kind of recruit our type of guys?
You know, when we kind of got here, we were thinking about the positions, and we talked to, the coaches that were here, Coach Rock and Coach George as coordinators. But really, we just wanted, you know, our kind of guys, and we wanted the best guys. And you guys will learn, you know, in the future, we want good football players. We want good kids, and we want good football players. We will always sit there and try to fill our needs, of course, but it's hard to pass up a good football player. And that's when, you know, when you look at these guys on film and you talk to the coaches, these were the best football players on their team. Now, they may have had some other guys who go to so-called bigger places, but these guys were the best football players on their team, and I'll take those guys any day. You know, and that's why we're so excited about this class, because they're all good football players, and they're good leaders, because 20 out of 21 were captains, which shows the leadership skills. And again, when you look at them academically with a 3.1, I mean, we're getting well-rounded kids. And when we talk about our kind of guys, those are our kind of guys.
Talk a little bit about Chris since he's here.
It's kind of funny because I've been around the other recruits more than I've been around Chris. You know, I've had, you know, 2 team meetings with these guys, and really the first interaction that I had with Chris was last Saturday when he came on a recruiting trip, and he, you know, sat next to me. He acted like he wasn't hungry, so he didn't eat until I ordered him a quesadilla, and it was gone in like a minute and a half. So, but I'm excited that he's here. He's a great-looking kid. I told the staff the other day, and Coach Rock kind of shot me down that he'd be an awesome safety, but I think they're going to keep him over there on the offensive side. But great kid. You know, like I said, I'm looking forward to getting around these kids a little bit more. This is the time that I can do that because I've only had 2 team meetings with them and been around them on the weekends on recruiting. So that's kind of the next phase of what we're going to go through, is really get around our team and embrace our team so we can get to know those guys.
Who wins that battle then? Offense, defense?
Here's what we told all the guys, especially the guys who are going, you know, we don't know where they're going to fall. We're going to find out, honestly, okay? We're going to find out where they can see the field first. And we've told those guys who are kind of the tweener type guys, wherever you can get on the field the fastest is where we're going to ask you, you know, to be. Where their heart is right now is where we'll start them out. You know, so we kind of asked those kids who we just recruited as athletes, you know, where do you want to start? I want to start on the offensive side. I want to start on the defensive side. And then we'll kind of let it, you know, go. There may be a couple of days that some of those guys who start on offense may go play defense, you know, and vice versa. But I found where their heart is where they're going to put their effort and their passion is going to be, and don't try to force them to do something they don't want to do.
Coach, the last couple of years you had Roosevelt Nick come make an impact right away. You also had C.J. Malulu, and then last season Melchior was one of the best punters in the country. Is there any specific players that you can see that will make an impact right away?
You know, to me, it's hard to sit there and say that. And you know, we all try to, this recruiting, you're putting a lot of pressure on kids to come in and all these things that are happening in recruiting. To me, that's the fun part to see. Because a lot of times when coaches sit there and they say, well, this guy, this guy, this guy, it's D, E, and F that actually come in and make an impact instead of A, B, and C. So that's, to me, is the fun part. All these guys will have the same opportunity to come in and contribute to this football team. We'll see who rises to the top and you know, which guys take advantage of the opportunity that they're going to get.
Anything else?
A little surprising, just one offensive lineman having, since you're losing 3.
Right.
Just on the
You know,
one you wanted.
We started out as sitting there saying that we wanted to try to get, you know, a little bit more offensive linemen, but we're not going to sacrifice just taking bodies on guys that we didn't feel fit our kind of guys. And you know, we reached out to some guys. They, you know, some guys ended up going other places. The other guys, we just didn't think that they were good enough. You know, as we evaluate them, instead of just taking bodies, there's some guys that will, you know, that will step up that are on the team right now. There may be some guys on the defensive side that we may move over, you know, and try on the offensive side. So we'll fill those holes, you know, definitely. But we're not just going to take guys just to take guys. We're going to take our kind of guys, and if we find them, we'll get them. And if we don't, then we won't.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.